You ready?
There is a connection between the paranormal, UFOs, and the myths of ancient history. The clues are scattered across the landscape from a forbidden past, maybe even in your own backyard. There is a connection between the true nature of our reality, consciousness, and the unexplained. I'm Carl the Crusher. Let's explore the unknown. Back in the day, when Native American and indigenous people were rounded up and put onto reservations, a lot of the history of these locations and what the petroglyphs and the artifacts were all about and who was dwelling here, a lot of that was completely lost, even to the people that should have inherited that wisdom and knowledge. And now, through the Re-Indigenizing Minds projects with my Native American friends and archaeologist friends, we're coming up to these locations where the stories are the legends of the star people coming down from the sky, almost like UFO stories of extraterrestrial interactions. They talk about the star people coming down on silver feathers and the ant people coming up almost like from interdimensional portals through doorways, spiritual and magical doorways at these walls. And when you get there, you can feel it. And that's why we're calling this particular area, even though it does have a real name, we're nicknaming it the Sacred Canyon, just because we really need to keep this one a secret. For those of you that are familiar, the Grand Canyon is not very far behind me in the other direction, and that over there by Kanab and Fredonia, the Grand Canyon is where all the legends of the Siteka, the giants, where the Native Americans had to have special bands of hunters that went out to try and fight these giant people that lived in cave systems that went into the underground and the underworld back up in these canyons. And when you get there, a lot of the petroglyphs depict giant people and little people. And there's often handprints, big people with horns and like antlers on their heads and headdresses and all sorts of things. But there's also an ancient indigenous mapping system that connects from Chaco Canyon and the Grand Canyon all the way up through, all the way down into ancient Mesoamerica and the Aztec Empire, and all of their glyphs and symbols tie in to the ancient symbols and communication so that they could travel over vast distances using these glyphs and the stars in order to navigate. So it's so elaborate. All of this is part of a big spiritual journey for the indigenous people. So when we come through and walk up these canyons, we just never know what we're going to find and how long it's been since anybody's ever even seen them. Just want to give you guys an idea of what it's like here, first person mode, walking through this terrain. It's so beautiful and treacherous. Yeah, you can definitely feel that kind of special energy when you get back close to those walls. And they pick those spots for that same reason. It's the action shot. I'm just seeing, this is like, yeah, it's so cool. It's like amazing sand dunes out here.
This is where the main spring is right back.
Oh, really? Wow.
And there's another, it's not quite as big a spring there.
So see, today it's a spring, but look at how much sand is here. Imagine now, in ancient times, this was like a whole fjord, you know?
It's like sailing down the water.
It's so fun, yeah. Because you range cattle and stuff out here then?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so you gotta water your animals right out of the spring. That makes sense.
Yeah, so they pipe it down, and that's where the water is.
Gotcha.
In that pond, it goes all the way down.
Gotcha.
And every time it rains, it washes the pipes out, and you
Got to come back and redo it. Oh no. That's terrible. Wow, look at this though.
So this is cool. This is where.
Wow, you can feel like back in the day, this thing was pumping. All right, so I have been told to come up here into the source of the spring and walk along this cliff face and see what I see and what I notice, if I notice anything special. So I think I'm gonna ditch my sunglasses and let's go take a look. Wow, this is beautiful. My word. I can already see tons of stuff all over the walls here. Look at this. We're just gonna start on the left here and go along. There's definitely indigenous carvings here. This line and the T thing at the top almost looks like a Spanish treasure marker to me. Interesting. That one right there and up. Wow. Yeah, so you've had family come up here and leave their mark too, huh? Yeah. Yeah. I can't tell on that.
And then Carl, as you go right up against there,
Up there.
you'll see a lot of stuff underneath that little shelf
Gotcha.
on that where the sun's shining.
Up there right on that back panel. Beautiful. Yeah, look, there's like, that's like a plant. Like,
Oh wow.
see that one? That's like some, like
That's
a
cool, huh?
corn plant or some sort of agave thing or a century plant. See the lines going up the edge there?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4 going up.
Oh, this one?
Those are done.
Will it play in the pool?
And then that almost looks like a comet or meteor impact, right?
Oh, water.
I've actually seen that a lot before, depicting things coming down from the sky. It almost looks like a meteor.
Oh, water.
Wow.
Oh, water.
Layers and layers of stuff here. These two, that's moccasins.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Those are, yeah. So that's a indigenous one underneath the graffiti there. Those two look like a hot dog bun or something. But yeah, those are typically seen as shoes or moccasins. And a lot of times you'll have toes coming off the top.
Cool.
Yeah? Get up
There's
there?
more stuff right up here that's higher. You used to be able to get to it, and it's washed away. But you look right,
Oh,
right up top, and I can't quite.
there's animals. Those are old.
Yeah, so
I was gonna say,
to get the dust off.
these dots here were definitely painted in with white calcite. So I don't think these are bullet holes. These look like, this looks like a star chart of some kind. You got a dot,
Will you grab my
dot. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then one going off here all the way across. It's almost like a big thing of like Scorpio or something, or like it might be the, oh, there's one up there. So this could be the Big Dipper. That would make sense if it was the Big Dipper.
right here?
Yeah, so notice how, yeah, they've even got the dots in there and everything. So there's the spiral right there in the middle. There's another one to the left here, straight parallel. And then directly above, you've got what looks like a coyote. Yeah, so look at all this together now. So we've got the, it's really hard with the lighting a little bit, but you can see the spiral there. Another one there. Above it, you've got like the coyote or the dog. Serpent line. These are very old. These are so old that the desert varnish on the rock is over top of the carvings. So here's this whole serpent line. It even looks like it has a head on the end. Going all the way up. And then there's like, look, that's like the sun. Oh, hey, that's a person. That's a deity figure with horns. He's got his arms out like a stick figure with the horns down. And then next to him looks like, that's what they call the headless man. It's just the arms and the body with no head. And that's them underneath the sun up there. Come down and there's this whole line going across. And almost the serpent line, or maybe the water. This whole line is pecked in all the way in. See the sun glyph here? Yeah, so see there's a figure there with horns and his arms out, shoulders and arms down with his legs. Yeah, it's like a whole scene.
What is this? Is this a pipe?
Serpent lion, almost with a head on it. Wow. These are old. Notice how, yeah, the desert varnish is over top of the carving. So these are like old. This is Stone Age. Very, very old. This is very similar to some of the oldest ones that they say, the oldest in North America over in Nevada. And they've got lines going all the way off. Wow, we are just finding so much more. So we've got this shaman figure here with the headdress coming down, square shoulders and like the sun symbol. And then this whole motif with these lines coming off. And we follow that down here to the left. And where we have this wolf symbol, look down below, is this big deity. You can see on the right, there's 4 fingers on that hand and 4 on both hands. 2 little legs, the head and the headdress right up here. See him? And he's standing right next to a smaller figure. And then there's another one up here next to him that almost looks like a little bird. Here, I'll get more square on here. It's really hard with the lighting, but see, there's a figure. So there's 1, 2, 3 figures with a bird right below. Is that a dog or is that something bigger? Is that a figure of a deity? I can't tell. That looks like an animal. I see another sun symbol and then 1, 2, 3, like a big one, 4, and then the spirals. Wow. So cool, all the way back in this little hidden pocket. What a special and amazing place. We've been jumping in and out of these different slot canyons. These are some of the oldest petroglyphs that I've seen around in this area. I wish I could tell you where they at, but this is totally a secret pocket canyon where the spring comes out right here. There's Spanish treasure markers and little pocket caves that could even still be treasure up here. So we got to keep it all a secret, but what a special place. The next place that we're going to go is even more mind-blowing. I'm super excited to finally get to share some of it with you guys. Wow. This would have absolutely been considered a sacred site to indigenous people, like a spiritual doorway. As this giant amphitheater, this is huge. And you can see the water coming through. Spring water must probably back then was coming out of here like crazy, all this sand. They probably had natural spring water coming right out of the bottom of their home. Incredible. Well, yeah, right here on the ground, yeah. There's this whole line going up that could just point to more, but yeah, this is like an antelope. God, this is a weird figure. But yeah, this is a body with legs here, but the top half of him, he probably had a head and another shoulder there.
Either it
This
fell
is-
off or...
This was a whole animal too that chipped off, it looks like. Right here. A lot of this face might have flaked off. These are old. Wow, cool. Very old, yes. So you see, yeah, there's a whole
story. Right?
another spiral, whole story, yeah. An antelope, the legs and the horns. Again, that's like that bird or headless man glyph. More down here. Look at the lines coming down this.
Yeah. And then over here.
It's like a timeline or cosmic event or something. Oh no, that's a big antelope.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of these, there's finger markings and rubbings all along here. Wow. Starting to get a little bit of wind, so I might have to use the AI to cut the wind noise, but look, we got pictograph painted there. And then all right here in front of me, old ancient petroglyphs. Oh, I don't want to put my foot down there either, gotta be careful. But there's a whole serpent line. Look at that one right in front of your boots, in front of your feet.
Right.
This whole slab,
No way.
right across your shins there, is in a bunch of glyphs and spirals. And look at this, there's a whole animal here with the head broken off, with a tree going up.
Wow.
And this is, look at this, it's like some kind of an antelope with huge antlers going up. It's hard to see, but on my camera you can kind of tell. And then see those there? Yeah. All the way down. Sorry about my phone shadow, I'll zoom in instead. Look at how, now I can't tell if that's the, see this is one of those I was telling you. Is that a tree going up, or is this some sort of a prehistoric extinct, like look at the antlers on that, if that's the head.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Is that that's some kind of an extinct elk that was running
With
around?
his feet there.
Or is this a
head there.
are we looking at a dinosaur thing?
Yeah.
Well now, look at this guy by your knees here. When I
It's like
back,
a bird, doesn't it?
looks like a roadrunner or something.
Yeah.
I have never seen one like that. That almost looks like a roadrunner or a velociraptor.
Yeah.
Look at the head on that.
And then
The bird, and that's a person.
another person there.
Two people here. Yeah, so this guy's got a rectangular head with earrings, square shoulders and body. His legs come way out. He's in the squatting man pose. This is classic squatter man. Right here. His hands, this sun glyph above him. Again, it's like a cosmic event with family played out with these lines going. So cool. And Jessica's up at the stick man. Wow. This is like getting ready to go hunt panel.
So what do you think that one is, the bottom left,
right?
with the four legs and almost like a little crab?
I know. I don't know. This is where it gets
'Cause the
really fun,
others-
right?
The others you can tell, but that one is a different.
Like they're all kind of versions of antelope and deer and things, but the way the heads and the horns come off and stuff are like, yeah, like a crab or something. Like I think this is the tail, that's the mouth, and the antlers coming up.
Yeah, okay, I
The
see
four
that.
legs,
Yeah, yeah.
and he's like eating grass.
There you go. I can see
That's
that
like
now.
a dog. You've got, this is like a herd of antelope, but look at the antlers on these buggers.
Yeah, those are big.
Big dudes. And then we've got all the, look, this is like a hunter stone. And then they're rubbing their small bird arrows here to straighten them. And they're like sharpening their stuff on the rocks right here. This is like where they sat to think about going hunting or something before they went out. This glyph right here is all chiseled too. Wow. This is scattered around here. It's like a treasure hunt looking for them. Those are indigenous ancient people put their fingers and hands on there, yeah.
They had permanent water.
Yes. You've got clearly.
Ancient, or is that modern?